Hello everyone, welcome back to Civil Engineering Classes YouTube channel. We were dealing with different building materials. Last video was the first part of the building material stone. If anyone is there who has not watched that video, please give a look to that video. This is the second part of the chapter stone, in which we will deal with certain miscellaneous topics in stone. First one is about the sources of stone. We know stones are obtained from rocks. Rocks represent a definite part of the earth's surface. It is not a homogeneous material. They do not have a definite chemical composition and shape. We know a mineral means a substance having a definite chemical composition and a molecular structure, which are formed by certain natural inorganic processes. If a rock is made up of only one mineral, that kind of rocks are called as monomineralic rocks, which means that contain only one type of minerals. For example, gypsum, quartz sand, magnesite, etc. If a rock have more than one mineral, that kind of rocks are called as polymineralic rocks. The major examples are granite, basalt, etc. Granite is a very important example of a polymineralic rock that's been asked in many exams. We know that the quartz is made up of a single mineral, that is silica, that is SiO2. Now let's see the next topic, that is about the natural bed of a stone. Let's see the definition of natural bed of stones, which means there is a distinct plane about which the stone can split very easily. A distinct plane about which the stone splits very easily is called as a natural bed of stones. In case of arches, the stones are placed in such a way that the natural bed should be in a radial direction. In case of the wall, the natural beds of the rocks should be in a horizontal direction. In case of cornice, string courses, the natural bed is mostly in vertical direction. Let's explain that through the figure. In this, we know the natural bed means the stone gets split by that direction so easily. So if we are applying load in that direction, they will split so easily. So we have to place the natural bed in such a way that the load should act perpendicular to it. That's what we are seeing here. First one is a portion of a wall in which the natural beds are actually horizontal direction and the load is acting vertical. This is the correct way of placing stones for wall works. Next one is about the arch. For an arch, the load is acting like this and it is distributed in this direction. So, the stones must be placed with its natural beds perpendicular to the action of the load, that means in this direction. That forms the radial direction of the arch. This is the case of about a cornice. The load the natural beds are placed in a vertical direction. Now let's see about the quarrying of stones. Quarrying means the process of taking out the stone from the natural rock bed. There are different methods of quarrying which have been used. The first one is digging, then heating, wedging and blasting. Digging, heating and wedging is very simple processes that we can actually see from their names itself. We we need to know something more about the process of blasting. Let's see different materials that are used for the process of blasting. First one is detonators. They are a kind of trivens whose explosion initiates that of another. Next one is explosive. We know it's very important. Blasting powder and dynamite are the major examples of the explosive used in quarrying of stones. Next one is fuses. Let's see something about blasting powder. Blasting powder is also called as the gunpowder. It is a mixture of charcoal, saltpeter and sulfur in a ratio of 15:75:10. Next one is dynamite. Dynamite is more powerful when compared to the blasting powder. It consists of a 25% of sandy earth saturated with 75% of nitroglycerin. It is majorly in the form of a thick paste and it is sold as cartridges. If you compare the blasting powder and dynamite, blasting powder is more weak and also cheap. If you have to blast for very hard stones, we have to go for dynamite. Next are certain tools that is used for blasting. First one is the dipper. Dipper is a tool that is used for making dig holes of particular depth. Next one is jumper. Jumper is used to make blast holes in which we will fill the explosives. Next one is scraping spoon. After the process of digging of these blast holes, we have to remove the excess scrap or the dust over these blasting holes. So we will use scraping spoon for that. So these three are the major tools used in the blasting purpose. Next, let's see something about artificial sounds. Till now we were discussing about different natural stones which are obtained from the natural earth surface. Now let's see something about artificial stones. They are also called as cast stones or reconstructed stones. Some of the examples are cement concrete stones, mosaic tiles, terrazzo, etc. These are actually made from the natural stones itself but making some changes. For example, if you are using a cement concrete stone, we will use aggregates and cement and water and make it to a mixture to form a cement concrete stones. If you are using mosaic tiles which contain marble chips, that is called as mosaic tiles. Terrazzo is also contain the marble chips along with the cement. Terrazzo, we are familiar that we are using it in the bathrooms, residential buildings, etc. The reason why we are using the artificial stones is we can cast that to any desired shape. They can be made in single pieces or small pieces. They are much more strong. So we can make them more stronger than the natural stones also. The quarrying, the blasting process is very hectic and on the other way very expensive. But the making of this artificial stone is more cheap and economical. They can be more durable than the natural stones also. So that's why we are using artificial stones. Next one is, let's see the common building stones, their classification and their uses. The first one we are using is the basalt and trap. It is igneous in origin. It is majorly used for road construction, rubble masonry and for foundation works. Next one is chalk. Chalk, we know it is formed from the limestone, so it is sedimentary in classification. It is used for the making of putty and in the manufacture of cement. Next one is gneiss. It is a metamorphic rock which is majorly used for street paving. Next one is granite, we are very familiar with, which is a polymineralic rock. It is igneous in origin. It is used for the construction of steps, sills, and used in certain facing works, walls, road construction, and even as the ballast. Usually, ballasts are made of igneous rocks that we will see in the railway engineering subject. Next one is kankar. Kankar is a sedimentary rock which is used for the road construction, hydraulic line manufacture. Next one is slate. This has been asked many times. The use of slate. Slate is used for roofing purposes. It is metamorphic in nature. Next one is laterite. Laterite is metamorphic and it is used as building stone, wrought metal and stone masonry work. Next one is limestone, which is sedimentary in origin, which is used for the manufacture of lime and also for the flooring purposes. Next one and the last one is sandstone, which is sedimentary in origin, used for the construction of step, facing work, column, flooring, etc. So that's all about the building material stones. Hope you all like the chapter. If you have any suggestions, please be free to comment below the video. And if you wish to see more videos of all the subjects in civil engineering, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.